My name is Anthony DiClementi. It was back in 2010, 2011, and I was an NCSF certified personal trainer, certified nutrition specialist, and I was working with a lot of clients doing the same things that most people do when they're helping. They're focused on nutrition, exercise, mindset, kind of like the three basic areas. And it wasn't until my health just completely fell apart that I had to take a step back and say, all right, what's going on here? Over the next 12 months, I saw over a dozen doctors. As these doctors continued to tell me, oh, you're fine, don't worry about it, I knew that there was something else going on. And I was seeing endocrinologists, that we had my hormones checked, we had every type of blood analysis and biomarker that they recommended, we looked at. And the symptoms continue to get worse. We're on this Rio de Janeiro trip with some of my best friends, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna try to fake it as long as I can. I don't wanna ruin their trip by them, realizing that I'm going through all this stuff. And finally by day 3, day 4, we were in the hot tub, and I was dragging, I was in bad shape. And then my best friend, who I'd known for 10 plus years, he looked at me and he's like, dude, what is going on? He's like, what's with you? He's like, you used to be so fun and like enjoyable to be around. And he's like, you're not yourself. And I said, you're right, man. I'm like, I've been like this for months. I've been trying to figure it out. It's not like I'm just sitting here accepting the situation. I'm trying to seek help, and the conventional methods aren't working. So I started taking matters into my own hands. I said, you know what, I'm an extremist by nature. If I'm gonna do something, I go all in, I immerse myself in it. And even though I had much less energy than I've had my entire life, all of that energy went towards pouring myself over every book, research, study, even looking into the fringes. I had something that is known as like the great imitator. So you experience all these symptoms that mimic over 200 other diseases. And because of that, I was like, oh, I think I have this. Oh, I think I have this. Oh, I think I have this. And it turns out that what I actually had was like the last thing that I possibly checked. But it wasn't until I'd completely dove in and immersed myself in functional medicine and nutritional neuroscience and biohacking, and started saying, all right, like what are these people at the top of their game doing? What are these elite athletes doing to get that 1 or 5% improvement? What are the people who are really sick doing that's working for them right now? And how can you apply that? I started using that stuff, and lo and behold, it had the same impact. Energy started exploding. And within a very short period of time, it was like, you could see that positive trajectory. I could start seeing the lights coming back on, and I was waking up, and the energy started coming back, and I started, going from a point where I could not work out at all to I could kind of do some yoga, to like I could do a little bit harder yoga, and to where like I could start incorporating other types of training and other types of biohacks that were a little bit more stressful in an acute way on the body, and I could see my body starting to respond. And then I was like, all right, if this is working for me, if it's working for these people at the top of their game, if it's working for these people that that are at the bottom of their game, it's got to also work for some of these folks that we tried to help before that has struggled. And we started applying it to them, and those same people, that same cross-section of folks who didn't respond just to the generic nutrition, exercise, mindset stuff, when we customized it for them, when we started layering all these other biohacks and putting together these types of programs that were customized and built just for them, they started getting results. A lot of people were like, are you nuts? Like, why are you doing this? You're like running yourself into the ground, working with all these people for free. But I knew that by doing what other people aren't willing to do, it was gonna help me develop that pattern recognition. There was a pretty cool example that I heard the other day, and they talked about how it's a Greek saying that is like, every man goes through 5 deaths. And the first is when you stop fighting. The second one is the last time you have sex. The next one is when you physically die. The next one is when your body deteriorates and is once again a part of the earth. And the last one is the last time someone says your name. And when you're thinking about only being here for a short amount of time, you start wondering, all right, how long can you make it? How long can you extend those 5 deaths? And the only way is to help other people. People don't talk about folks who are the biohacking dude. They talk about the impact that you had on the world. And that's why our mission is to end childhood obesity, or at least provide the tools to do that, so that these kids that are being deprived of what should be a childhood right to run and play, and even if their parents don't know anything about food, giving them the tools that they need to put the right stuff in their body. And one of the clients that I worked with said, hey, he's like, my little brother Nico, he's 11 and he's in bad shape, man, he needs help. He's like, can you help him? I said, sure. So this little 11-year-old calls me up and he's like, hey, and I'm like, what's going on, man? He's like, well, I'm getting made fun of at school. He's like, I can't lose weight. He's 11 years old, he's 150 pounds. Couldn't run. Kids were being cruel, making fun of him, and he'd sit there at recess, he couldn't play basketball. And we started getting the weight coming off. And he started getting involved in sports, and he started getting back into life. The kids stopped making fun of me, actually started making friends. He started telling me about how he was joining a CrossFit gym with his brother, and like sent me these videos of him doing like floor to overhead cleaning presses, and next thing you know, he's down to 115 pounds, 35 pounds down. He's running, he's playing basketball, he's like loving his life, and he's like posting on Facebook, helping other kids, you know, to take control of their health. And that's what it's about, you know. It's about, you inspire one person, that's what goes beyond you, you know, because then that person inspires other people, and then those people inspire other people, and that's what we want to do. We want to put an end to childhood obesity, and we want to give people the tools to take their health back, and that's what this book is about, and that's what our mission's all about.